So here is the one thing that even Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors course doesn't teach you. Stay tuned. Hey, it's me, Roland. If you're not familiar with me, I am the author of a pretty successful series of MC romance novels. I've got 12 books in that series. I've actually written and self-published 29 full-length novels, and I've sold over 67,000 copies and made over $275,000 in royalties, which is great. And I credit a lot of that to Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors course, which is open right now. And whenever it opens, I am very self-serving and I start making a few videos about it. And if these videos convince you to buy it, there's a link down below. Please use that. I get a little piece of the action. And I've got a special treat for you at the end if you do decide to do that. But before we get there, let's talk about something that I don't think gets talked about enough. And that is advertising is hard. Advertising your books is actually really, really difficult. Advertising anything is really, really difficult. There's a reason why there are digital marketing experts, and that's because there are so many different complicated variables about advertising digital products online that you actually need to know quite a lot to be successful at it. And the great thing about a course like Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors is it sets you up into a really good position where you can start doing that. But even with all of the information contained within that course, there's more that you need to take into consideration. And the first part is that advertising is hard. I've spent my entire career on and off in advertising. One of the first jobs I ever had was a copywriter writing radio commercials. And I learned as much from my clients as I did from all of my colleagues. And one client I had, he ran a huge double glazing firm. He used to tell me, advertising, it doesn't matter how much money you spend on advertising if you're advertising something people don't want to buy. And self-published authors, and I speak from personal experience here, the biggest problem we have when we first get started is we write a book and we publish a book and we think it's great and we want people to read it. And then we think advertising is going to fix that problem. But we haven't learned enough yet to write books that people actually want to buy. Or, at the very least, we haven't written books that are presented attractively enough to make enough people want to buy them to make our advertising pay for itself. And this is something that every single person who takes Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors course is going to experience when they start out. I don't think there's anybody, even if they diligently go through all of the course materials there, who's going to start off advertising and immediately make a profit. Maybe they will. Fingers crossed, if they've written a fantastic series of books that are already selling great numbers or did really well on launch, yeah, there's a possibility you're just going to knock it out of the park day one. Probably not though. Like right now, I am in a situation where I know how to advertise my books on Facebook and get over the long term around a 50 to 70% return on investment, which means if I spend $1 on advertising, I get between $1.50 or $1.70 back, $1 of which has to go to pay for that advertising, meaning I get like 70 cents or 50 cents profit depending on where it goes. It used to be 70% and it's actually dropped down to about 50% over the course of the last few months with the Apple iOS change and that opting out privacy agreement thingy. Anyway, my point is, it took me a while to get there. It took me a significant while to get there, even though I'm advertising the same books. I'm advertising the series of books. And it was really, really difficult to figure out the route towards getting there. I started off advertising my books and, nobody was buying them, or a few people were buying them. And the problem was I was started off advertising with such a small amount of money that it was difficult to see on a day-to-day basis, oh, did my advertising make these people buy these books, or were these people buying these books anyway? It was really, really tricky that way. I only really figured out whether my advertising was having any effect or not when I started spending a lot of money on advertising, $20 a day. Because at that point, then it's like, okay, I can compare this month of book sales against a month when I wasn't advertising, and I can see that I have a significant boost in sales and page reads. But as I said, it was over the course of a month. Imagine spending $20 a day over the course of the month, not sure whether or not you're going to make a profit. That's advertising. That is advertising your book. So yeah, the one thing I think is really, really important to be aware of before you buy a course like Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors is you will learn everything you need to, or be in a really good position to start advertising your books, but it is still going to be hard work to put yourself in a position to sell those books profitably. If you are determined, and if you have good books, really strong books, and you optimize the experience for the reader from when they click through to your product page to when they actually click buy now, if you can make that as great an experience for a potential reader as possible, you can make a profit advertising your books. In fact, the best sellers out there are doing precisely that. Once you crack the nut, once you figure out, and it is a matter of less than a penny, once you figure out a way to get more money back from advertising your books than you spend on advertising your books, then you are golden. But it is going to be a struggle to get there, and there are all sorts of pieces missing in the equation that you can't really find going through the routes that Mark Dawson teaches you, which is fine, because the routes that Mark Dawson is teaching you are the best ones. Like the strategies he has towards advertising your books, they are the ones that I agree, having tried other strategies, are the best. But it will take work, and you have to have faith, and you have to be willing to invest not just time, effort and money, but also your heart and your guts and everything into this struggle. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you have good books, if you continue to write, if you continue to self-publish, if you are committed to this with the same stubborn, annoying boneheadedness that I have been, you'll figure it out and you will make a profit. And Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors course will help you get there a lot sooner than figuring it out by yourself, if you ever could. Right, that's my little video about that. I mentioned earlier, if you want to buy Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors course, which is open now, could you use that link down below in the description, because I get a little piece of the action. But you know what? I am gonna try and sweeten this deal a little for you. Last year I made a course, and I like to think it's a pretty good course. It's called So You've Self-Published a Book on Amazon, Now What? And I didn't want to try and create a course like Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors, because I think his is the best on the market. I wouldn't want to steal his proprietary stuff, and even if I did, I would do an inferior job. So what I did is I put together a course that really answers that question. Okay, you've self-published a book on Amazon, now what? How do you get started actually promoting, getting things moving? And one of the things that I wanted to do was put together a course that filled in all the blanks and answered all the questions that I still had after doing Ads for Authors. So I think my course is a really strong companion to Mark Dawson's Advertising for Authors course. And if you use the link down below to buy Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors course, and I get a copy of your email address, I will send you free access to my course. Because yeah, I'm getting a piece of the action from that affiliate action, and that means I am very happy to give you what I believe is a valuable course for free, because at the end of the day, I want you to be successful. Yeah, because it is a really wonderful feeling to be successful. Said I did Mark Dawson's Ads for Authors course in 2015. It wasn't until 2018 that I published my first bestseller, but man, did it feel good. It felt really good. And yeah, sometimes I still play back the video of the day I received my check from Amazon, my first $10,000 in a month check from Amazon, and I remembered that day very vividly, and it made me feel so good. And if I could give you a gift, it would be having that same kind of experience. So hopefully one day you will. Anyway, that is it for me. I will make another video soon. Ciao. I'm Roland Hume. I've sold 67,000 copies of my books. If you want to find out how I did it, I've got a link right here you can click. And otherwise, don't forget to subscribe. I've got more videos coming soon. Thank you.